This segment of Delmarva Life is brought to you by Peninsula Regional Medical Center.
The scary fact is sudden cardiac arrest, or SCA, can be deadly. SCA is a heart condition that simply goes undetected oftentimes until it's too late.
Yeah, and according to the Centers for Disease Control, more than 350,000 Americans suffer from SCA each year. That's about 1,000 people a day.
SCA is an abrupt, unexpected heart malfunction that means the heart has stopped beating and blood is no longer circulating. 95% of individuals who have sudden cardiac arrest die from it, and it can strike anyone, even active young adults.
And even professional athletes. As a matter of fact, it happened to former professional basketball player Omar Carter, who says he's lucky to be alive after he suffered sudden cardiac arrest during a game in July of 2013. His heart stopped for 13 minutes. He was in a coma for 3 days. At the time, Omar was only 25 years old. But he says his team of doctors fixed him up and he feels good as new.
One thing that Dr. Maida and his colleagues decided was I needed to get a subcutaneous implantable defibrillator, which I have now. I lead a normal life, you know, other than playing basketball, other than dieting. You know, I walk daily to keep the weight down, and I'm hopefully get back on the court here soon. But I'm lead a normal life as if, you know, nothing ever happened.
Now, Omar can no longer play professional basketball, but he is certainly looking forward to getting back out on the court to just shoot around.
That is unbelievable. 25 years old when that struck. Well, the good news about SCA is that it is preventable. And for those who have it, there's technology out there saving people's lives. Technology that's as easy as putting on a vest.
I started having some chest pain, and it was kind of a burning feeling, and it was pretty much intense. And I thought, you know, this doesn't feel right. Then I started having jaw pain.
61-year-old Dwayne Spradlin was having a heart attack and found out that he had 2 arteries that were 99% blocked.
Let me take a listen to this, your ticker here.
Cardiologist Dr. Christopher Boylan put stents in to open up the arteries, but that wasn't all.
He says, I do want to order this life vest to put on you because you're kind of in a situation where this would be the best thing for you.
The Life Vest is a wearable defibrillator that is worn by patients at risk of sudden cardiac arrest. It's non-invasive. It delivers treatment shocks if an irregular heart rhythm is detected. 8 days later, the Life Vest saved Dwayne's life.
But the next thing I knew, I was waking up on the garage floor, and I hear this siren that's going off, and I hear this voice that says, you've been treated and you need to contact your doctor, and he kept repeating that.
The life vest did save his life. If he had not had the life vest on, he likely would have died due to ventricular fibrillation, which is an often fatal rhythm.
Dr. Boylan says he's ordered the Life Vest for nearly 40 patients, but
he is the first one to actually require life-saving therapy from it. And you know, that makes it all worthwhile just to have that one.
Dwayne is counting his blessings, and he's very thankful that he was wearing his life vest.
It did exactly what it's supposed to do. I was in a deadly situation where if nothing was done, I would have died.
The life vest is not a permanent solution for sudden cardiac arrest patients. Dwayne had an internal defibrillator put in, and so far he's doing great. In case you're wondering, the life vest is covered by most health plans. Now, currently, the Life Vest is only available in a handful of countries. Obviously, the United States is one of them.
And even more exciting, the vest is being used on patients right here on Delmarva. Joining us today to tell us more is Dr. Jennifer Aiken, a non-invasive cardiologist with Peninsula Regional Medical Center. Dr. Aiken, thank you for joining us this afternoon.
You're welcome.
This is so fascinating, a vest that can save your life. What is it?
Well, actually, it's an external wearable defibrillator that the person can actually wear if they're at a high risk for sudden cardiac arrest.
Okay, so how does this thing work?
So basically, the way the vest works is that there's 2 pieces of it.
Okay.
There's a garment that the patient actually wears on their chest against their skin, and then there's actually a monitor that the patient can either wear on their waist, or they can put it in a bag and sling it over their shoulder.
Okay, so that's the monitor.
Yes, so this monitor, what it's actually doing is it is continuously monitoring the patient's heart rhythm. And so what it'll do is if it detects a fatal arrhythmia, the device will actually shock the patient's heart back to a normal sinus
And it actually
rhythm.
has gel in it?
It does. So what you're seeing right there, they actually have pads that are placed against the patient's skin. And if the rhythm is detected could be a potentially fatal rhythm, then those pads actually release gel so that there's good contact with the skin, and then it prevents against burns.
How about that?
Yes.
So this helps with cardiac arrest, not heart attack. What's the difference?
Correct. I have a lot of patients who come into my office, and this is a very common question. They're not sure what the difference is. And basically what I tell them is if somebody suffers a heart attack, that's actually when the arteries that supply the heart with oxygen that surround the heart, if they become blocked for whatever reason, then there's no blood flow, no oxygen to the heart. That's a heart attack.
Okay.
So what sudden cardiac arrest is, that's a fatal arrhythmia. And what we usually see is ventricular tachycardia or ventricular fibrillation.
And those are great big words for some very deadly topics, aren't they?
They are.
So is this something you can just wear during the day and then take it off, go to bed, whatever?
Well, basically, if somebody qualifies for it, usually we are waiting to evaluate whether or not they need a permanent defibrillator. So while they have it, they are at risk for the sudden cardiac arrhythmia or arrest. So they should wear it all the time.
All the time.
Even during sleep. And when they would take it off is just if they shower or bathe, and then they put it back on when they're finished.
Okay, so say somebody has that that they have the arrhythmia and it goes off, what do they do then?
So basically, if it does go off, a lot of times patients will start to either feel very dizzy, lightheaded, they even sometimes pass out. So like you saw in the video, the patient actually woke up and didn't know what was happening. So if it goes off, it actually treats the patient. And that's the amazing thing about it. It's like a life insurance policy where it actually saved the patient's life. And then what they do is they just call the doctor, and actually the company gives us information that is transmitted over from the vest itself. So we already know that this is occurring, and we're calling the patient's calling us, and we can get them the treatment they need.
So who would qualify for one?
So basically, they're the people who obviously have a high risk for sudden cardiac arrest. And they're the patients that either just recently had a heart attack, patients either going for bypass surgery or just after bypass surgery, patients who have congestive heart failure, or if they have a stent placement, and then lastly, if they have cardiomyopathy where their heart is in a weakened condition.
Very amazing. I just, unbelievable. Thank you, Dr. Aiken, so much good information this afternoon. And to read more from PRMC about the Life Vest, go to WBOC.com, click on our picture at the top of the page. Now, let's focus on saving something else, your hard-earned money. The last thing you want to do is waste it on high-energy costs when it comes to your kitchen appliances. Up next on Delmarva Life, we share some money-saving measures.
Well, something else we want to save is every second of summer so we can enjoy it in the pool. Well, there's still plenty of time to take a little dip. A little bit later on, we're going to learn how to make sure that our water is crystal clear.
We also have fun in the sun cupboard as we show you how inflatable floats and toys can take your time in the pool to the next level. Delmarva Life. We'll be right back.